Are you serious? Look, I know you've heard exchanges running out before. We all have. But this time they actually admitted it in writing. The world's largest silver exchange just locked the door on deliveries. And if you own silver, the next 15 minutes are very important. I'm showing you exactly what went down and why your physical silver just became the most important thing you own. Disclaimer. Just today, the Shanghai Futures Exchange, the world's largest silver exchange serving the planet's biggest industrial economy, made an announcement that sent shockwaves through the metals community. They announced that any participant without approved hedging quotas will receive 0 lots for delivery allocation on all silver contracts. 0. Not reduced, not limited. 0. Let me say that again because this is crucial. The exchange that handles physical silver delivery for the world's largest manufacturing engine just told the market they can't fill your orders unless you have special permission. And for silver investors, this is absolutely massive because it confirms what many of us have suspected for years. The physical metal is disappearing, and the exchanges know it. To understand why this February announcement is so explosive, we need to look at what's been happening inside those Shanghai vaults. In 2021, the SHFE vaults held 3,000 metric tons of physical silver. Today, 350 tons. That's an 89% drawdown in just a few years. Nearly 9 out of every 10 ounces are gone, delivered, removed, vanished into industrial consumption, into private hands, into the real economy. Think about it like this. Imagine your bank had $100 in the vault for every $100 of deposits. Then one day you show up and they've only got $11 left. But they're still accepting deposits, still writing checks, still operating like everything's fine. How long does that bank stay open? That's Shanghai right now. The vaults are nearly empty. How long have you been watching these vault levels drop? Let me know if you saw this coming. An 89% drawdown isn't a correction, it's a crisis. And for silver investors holding physical metal, this is exactly the kind of supply stress that changes markets forever. This is physical metal disappearing from the largest industrial consumer of silver on the planet. China makes the solar panels, the electronics, the EVs. All of that requires real physical silver. And it's been coming from those exchange vaults. Until now. The exchange looked at those vault levels, looked at the delivery requests coming in, and locked the door. Let's break down what this February announcement actually means in practical terms, because this is where it gets really interesting for anyone holding silver or thinking about entering a position. The Shanghai Futures Exchange implemented a hedging quota requirement. Sounds bureaucratic and boring, right? But here's what it actually does. It means you cannot take delivery of physical silver unless you've been pre-approved by the exchange. You need permission. You need a quota. And if you don't have that quota, you get 0 allocation. Not some allocation. Not a reduced allocation. 0. Why does this matter? Because it fundamentally changes how the exchange operates. Up until now, anyone could sell silver futures on the SHFE, even if they didn't have the physical metal to back it up. You could short silver, naked short it, betting the price would go down without ever intending to deliver actual metal. It's a paper game that's been played on exchanges worldwide for decades. But this rule change just ended that game in Shanghai. No more naked short attacks on the SHFE. If you want to sell silver futures now, you better have approval to actually deliver the metal, because the exchange isn't going to let you hide behind paper promises anymore when someone comes asking for their ounces. For silver investors, this is huge. It means one of the world's largest silver exchanges just admitted they can't play the paper game anymore because they don't have enough physical metal to back it up. They're protecting what little supply remains in those vaults by making sure only legitimate hedgers, people who actually have metal or actually need metal for their business, can participate in the delivery process. Think about what this tells us. Shanghai handles silver delivery for the world's largest industrial economy. China is the manufacturing engine of the planet. They consume more silver for industrial purposes than anyone else. Solar panels, electronics, EVs, 5G infrastructure, all of it runs on silver. These are the guys who need silver the most, who use it the most, who have the biggest incentive to keep it flowing. And they just said, we can't deliver it anymore. We're locking down the system, physical only for approved participants. If that doesn't tell you we're in the middle of a physical supply crisis, I don't know what does. And for those of us holding actual metal, this is the kind of structural change that validates every reason we bought physical silver in the first place. Here's where this story gets even more interesting. If this was just a China problem, we could write it off as a regional issue, but it's not. Let's look at COMEX, the major silver exchange in the United States. Right now, COMEX has 103 million ounces of registered silver. That's the physical metal available for delivery. Except the March contract alone represents open interest of 429 to 528 million ounces. That's a 4-to-1 paper-to-metal ratio on a single contract month. For every 1 ounce of physical silver in COMEX registered vaults, there are 4 ounces of paper claims against it. And February deliveries are running at a 98% delivery rate. People aren't rolling their contracts. They're not settling in cash. They're standing for delivery. They want the metal. This is the exact same pattern we saw in Shanghai. High delivery demand, shrinking physical supply. An exchange realizing it doesn't have enough metal to satisfy everyone with a claim on it. For silver investors, this is pattern recognition. This isn't isolated. This is happening everywhere. Physical supply draining from exchanges while paper claims stack up. Do you think COMEX will implement delivery restrictions next? What's your prediction? And when you own the actual metal, when it's in your safe under your control, you're not exposed to this paper-physical disconnect. You're not waiting for exchange approval. You're not hoping there's metal left when your contract comes due. You've already got it. Before Shanghai's February announcement, warning signs were flashing. Inventory on the Shanghai exchange had hit a 10-year low. Vault levels hadn't been this depleted since before the last major silver rally. Physical demand was draining those vaults month after month, quarter after quarter. Industrial consumers, private investors, everyone pulling from the same pool of exchange inventory, and that pool kept shrinking. Then it hit critical mass. The exchange made the call: no more open access, no more naked shorts, no more paper games. From now on, you need approval, because we don't have enough metal to keep playing this game. That's the supply shock. That's what happens when physical demand overwhelms paper supply. And for silver investors, this is exactly the scenario that makes physical metal so valuable. When the music stops and exchanges lock the doors, the only people protected are the ones who already have the metal in hand. So, let's put this together. The world's largest silver exchange, serving the world's largest industrial consumer, announced they can't deliver metal without special approval. That's Shanghai, locking the door after an 89% drawdown. The major Western exchange shows the exact same stress pattern. COMEX sitting on 103 million ounces while facing 429 to 528 million ounces of claims. 4-to-1 leverage. Same paper physical disconnect Shanghai just tried to fix with delivery quotas. Delivery rates running at 98% in February means people want the metal. They're demanding physical settlement, and when everyone does that simultaneously, exchanges run out. East and West, China and America, physical supply disappearing while paper claims multiply. Shanghai made the first move saying, we can't play this game anymore. We're protecting what's left. The question for silver investors: how long before others follow? How long before COMEX implements their own delivery quotas or settlement restrictions? When one exchange breaks, when one market admits it doesn't have the physical supply for all the paper claims, it creates a cascade. Everyone else asks, do I actually own this silver or just a promise? For those holding physical metal, we already know. We've got the metal, the real thing. Not waiting for delivery, not hoping the vaults have inventory, not applying for quotas. We've secured our position in one of the most critical industrial metals on the planet, right when exchanges admit they can't deliver it anymore. This is why the physical versus paper distinction matters so much right now. When you buy physical silver, coins, bars, rounds, you're removing that metal from the available supply. You're taking it out of the system, doing exactly what's been happening in those Shanghai vaults. As exchanges tighten up, implement quotas and restrictions, the value of physical metal in your possession goes up. You've already completed the hard part. You've secured the supply. You're not competing for dwindling exchange inventory. You've got it. The paper market can do whatever it wants. But when someone wants actual metal, when industrial users need silver for production, when investors want physical exposure, they need the real thing. And the real thing is increasingly hard to get from exchanges. Shanghai proved that. An 89% vault drawdown followed by delivery restrictions. That's a market running out. COMEX's numbers suggest the same direction. 4-to-1 paper leverage. 98% delivery rates, registered inventory that would disappear in weeks if everyone demanded physical settlement. For silver investors, this is the setup we've been waiting for. The supply crisis validates the physical investment thesis. This is why we don't trust ETFs or paper contracts or promises. We hold the physical asset because when exchanges start locking doors and implementing quotas, the only silver that matters is the silver you can touch. Think about what this means for the silver market as a whole. Silver is a critical industrial metal essential for modern technology. Solar panels, electronics, EVs, 5G infrastructure, medical equipment, the entire technological revolution runs on silver. And the world's largest manufacturer just admitted they're running out of physical metal. China makes most of the world's solar panels, dominates EV production, and manufactures a huge percentage of global electronics. All of that requires silver. And they just lock down their exchange because they don't have enough physical supply. What happens to all those industries when physical silver becomes scarce? What happens to the price when the largest industrial consumer is fighting for scraps in their own vaults? For silver investors, this is about positioning in a metal that the modern world cannot function without, right when the people who need it most are running out. And here's the beautiful part. Physical silver in your possession is yours. Completely. No one can change the rules on you, implement quotas that affect your access, or lock the door after you've already walked through it. You've secured your supply before the world woke up to the crisis. What's happening right now in the silver market is historic. If you're holding physical metal, you're positioned exactly where you want to be. The world's largest silver exchange announced they can't deliver metal without special approval. Shanghai looked at their vault levels, down 89% from 2021, and locked it down, quotas only. The major Western exchange shows the same stress. COMEX's 4-to-1 paper leverage on March contracts, combined with 98% delivery rates, tells us physical demand is overwhelming available supply. The same pattern that forced Shanghai to implement restrictions is building in New York. This is the global silver market waking up to a physical supply crisis. Exchanges are responding by restricting access, implementing quotas, and protecting what little inventory remains. For those holding physical silver, this is ultimate validation. This proves the physical versus paper distinction matters. Owning actual metal, removing it from the system, securing it in your possession. That's not paranoia. That's prudent investing when exchanges are literally running out of deliverable supply. Shanghai locked the door first. They won't be the last. And every time another exchange tightens restrictions, every time another vault depletes, the value of physical silver in private hands goes up. When industrial users need silver for manufacturing, when investors want real exposure, when the paper games stop and actual delivery becomes what matters, the only people who win are the ones who already have the metal. If you've been stacking physical silver, if you understood the supply dynamics before Shanghai's announcement, you're already winning. You secured your supply, positioned ahead of the crisis, and own real metal in a market where exchanges admit they don't have enough. Are you holding physical, or are you still in paper? And for the physical holders, does this feel like the validation moment you've been waiting for? Comment down below. What happened in Shanghai this February is just the beginning. The door is closing, the vaults are depleting, the exchanges are implementing restrictions. Are you holding paper promises, or the real thing? For silver investors with physical metal in hand, we already know the answer, and we're positioned perfectly for what comes next. But what is your opinion on this? Comment down below. If you are curious to find more, then make sure to click on one of the videos you see on the screen. And with that, we come to the end of this video. If you enjoyed the video, then turn on the notifications bell on this channel. Missing an important silver update might make you lose money, so don't risk it. Also, please share this video with as many people as possible. Let's get this news out there.